Hello, let's see, come over here. Well, I'm at home, as you can imagine, because of the sofa and all that. I wanted to make a video for you about a pretty important clarification regarding the villa, but since I won't have time to explain it at the villa. Before you watch the preview, I'm going to record it here to explain it. And it's that in the last video, so many questions have come up about the arch. This arch, which welcomes you as soon as you enter the house, along with the entrances to the bathroom and bedroom. What's going on with this arch? If you've come in to snoop around, most of the comments on the last video are about remove that arch, what a horrible arch, get rid of that arch for good. And in one comment in particular, it said that unanimously, in a vote by the followers, I had to remove the arch. Let's clarify what's happening with this arch, whether I'll remove it and the reasons why. I'm going to get comfortable for my decision because it's a bit of a long story. Well, not that much either. What happens is that since it didn't fall, this arch is right on a wall with questionable characteristics. I mean, the wall is very thick. We're talking about it being about this thick. So we don't really know what function that wall serves in the house, whether it's a load-bearing wall or not, or if it's holding something up. That could already be the number one reason why I can't expand that part. And if I wanted to do it, I would have to talk to an architect to see if it can really be expanded or not. And if it turns out that yes, it can be done. If it needs any special condition, like for example, placing a beam to support and reinforce it, I could do that. If I'm going to do it, no, because here comes the second reason. And it's that I love arches, as you may have noticed in other videos, like for example the transformation we did in the apartment in the bedroom with the two little beds. I put an arch with indirect lighting for them. I think arches have a lot of potential and they can look outdated with the wrong decor. But what's going on? I show you this picture and you say, wow, what a horrible arch. And it's even green, how ugly. That's something to tear down. But what would you say if we look at this photo? This other one, or this one here? It changes a lot. The perspective of the arch changes a lot depending on where you are. That's why my idea, since it's to completely change everything, is to integrate this arch with the rest of the decor. Even harmonize it. And by this I mean that there won't just be one arch, but there will be two arches. That's why I explained it. Otherwise, when I make another arch, you'll ask me, but what is this? Because many of you hate the arch, and I'm not exaggerating when I say hate, but anyway, let's continue. What I think about the arch is not that it's ugly, but that the decoration doesn't go with it. That's why, as I was saying, we're gonna make a second arch so everything looks much more integrated. This second arch will be in the kitchen. In the kitchen, we knocked down part of the wall, and I'll also explain why we didn't remove the entire wall. And the thing is, of course, there's the door in the kitchen. If I had knocked down the whole wall, you would have entered directly into the kitchen. And I don't really like that idea. Well, neither do I nor the rest of my family, the idea of entering directly into the kitchen. I think a small hallway, like as a sort of entrance hall, so you can go up the stairs or access the kitchen or the dining room a little more independently. To have a small piece of furniture for items like keys and more. A small entryway, well, I think that's the most appropriate thing for a house so that the kitchen is semi-hidden. I don't like coming in and having it be seen right away. Even more so with the size of the house, I think there's enough space to have a small entryway at the entrance. That's why we didn't tear down that wall, but we did take down a large part of it to make the area bigger. That's because we want to combine the kitchen and dining room. If we can remove that wall, that's great. Whoever watches this video will see that spoiler. Can we take it down? But we had to ask an architect, basically because it also had some rather special features. And we wanted to be 100% sure that it was possible, and yes, indeed, there was no problem. This same thing I'm telling you is what we would have to do on the arch wall in case you didn't want it, but that's not the case. This area that we've opened up in the kitchen is to make it easier to access the dining room and the kitchen. And in short, so that the space is much more open. I think it clashes a bit because it's like the layout is kind of strange. You walk into the hallway, suddenly there's a wall, then a door that's actually a hole, followed by more wall. The arch, and I didn't like it. After thinking about it a lot and being there, racking our brains, we finally decided to make an arch. And it had to fit with the door that's right next to it, which is the arch that's already there. So there won't just be that arch, but there will be another one next to it. This way I think it will fit in much better, so there won't just be an arch sitting there, just kind of not matching with anything, but instead everything will make a bit more sense. Everything will fit together much better. And I also don't want to reveal too many things. Because of course you are following a series of videos, but the videos are more advanced, and I'm recording this video very far ahead. That is, I'm recording it for you today and it will probably be uploaded tomorrow, so, well, you'll see it soon. Everything has meaning and logic, but you're probably wondering why. Even though the arc might look good, that it fits and all that. But why don't I make it bigger? Why is the arc so tiny? Couldn't it be a wall like this? Really big? The first reason, among these reasons, there are other reasons why it isn't made wider. The first one would be because you would need to find out about the condition of the wall, like I mentioned at the beginning. The second reason would be because making an arch without drywall, that is, out of brick. I find it really tricky to get the shape to look nice and cool, and so you don't end up with a poorly finished edge. Third reason, the wall would be unbalanced. That is, if we look at the arch from the front. And I'm telling you this because we've debated and discussed all the options. We've pretty much talked about everything. So when we were considering the possibilities of widening that arch, we were looking at it from the front. What's the main issue with this arch? Well, it has the same proportion on one side as on the other. Could we make it bigger? No, because if we make it bigger, we would have to take away the same proportion. So the arch stays centered and doesn't take up more space on one side, preventing the wall and arch from looking off-center or disproportionate. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself. And why can't it be made bigger? Well, because one of the walls doesn't have any more space to take down. Let's say if we took it down, we'd end up inside the bathroom. It's right at the edge of the bathroom. And on the other side, it could be expanded, but only if we expanded it on that side. Up to the beam, which isn't a very big section, the arch would look off-center, it would shift over there. I think that just to gain a few centimeters, which at most would be about a hand's width, it's a lot of work. It would look poorly placed, assuming you didn't finish it off well. This would also cause the project to be delayed. You need to prioritize. Objectively, the best option is to leave it as is. And honestly, I think that's pretty much what I'm telling you right now. You think it looks really ugly because the rest of the things just don't quite match. The way it is now, it looks outdated because nothing else is really finished either. But when you see the rest of the things and how they all complement each other, you're going to end up liking it. I think so, but I don't know. For these reasons, the arc will stay just as it is. Well, it's not just going to stay, there's actually going to be another one. I hope that's clear, that it made sense, and if I see any other questions come up, I'll try to explain them in the next videos. I'm preparing a super detailed Q&A for this channel with everything you wrote to me in the YouTube community. There are a ton of questions, I'm taking them with me to the villa, and there I'll record a super detailed Q&A for you. I know I still owe you the one about the houses, but the thing is, I had to look for them. Finding the house took a while. Each time I recorded one, I'd film it, but the video would just sit unused. So I had to search and dig through my folders to find all the videos. Now I have them, it's 10 houses including ours, and I can finally record for you. And what was the search process like, and what were the reasons that made us choose this house and not another one? So all this and much more in upcoming videos here on Decor tú mismo. See you very soon on the channel. See you soon!